cash long and shorts, high-risk department overview, overnight focus, responding to the tips that you get from your self-checkout hosts and your AP customer hosts. I could do nothing but investigations for an entire week and still have more to do at the end of my week. And obviously with our changing role, that's not a possibility. There are certain things that we have to accomplish that are have-tos, and I can't do it all on my own. So my big benefit, what has really benefited me, is I have a great AP team. Shout out to Mike Vasallo, David and Ray. And they have really taken their new role and they've run with it. Prior to the company ever making a change,
the whole time he said he's going to take all the credit.
I would be on secure, and I could feel them kind of looking over my shoulder. What are you doing? What is that? What is that showing you? So when we opened up the doors for them, it was just letting them out, and they've basically taken that ball and run with it. They're passionate about it. They have communicated with the store associates. They have a good relationship with the store associates. They have leveraged those relationships. We've got multiple internals from tips from, like I said, self-checkout folks or other associates in high-risk departments where they've come to Mike or Fabian and said, hey, we have this going on or that going on. And they were able to support that investigation with their newfound role in the investigation piece. And honestly, that's the best tool you can use as a well-trained AP associate.
Good. I'm glad you called that out because it's so much of our business revolves around developing people. And
yeah, he's in corporate. He's in Arkansas.
Teaching them how to go after investigations. So good for you on that.
That's the director for AP.
Tell me what type of investigations have you closed this year, and what do you have going on now? Just kind of an overview, and what did you learn from it when you closed those cases?
Well, what type of cases? As anything's basic is merchandise theft, cash theft, refund fraud at point of sale. We've had, debit loads on Visa cards by cashiers. We've had under-ringing, ticket switching and self-checkout. Our hot food bar, I make the joke in my store all the time. I'm tired of dealing with people for not paying for their chicken, but there's some mind control in that chicken or something. I don't know, they keep going for it. So it's kind of run the gamut of what the cases are. And after every case, essentially we do kind of an after-action review. What caused this? What allowed this to happen? What's the root cause, and what can we do to impact that? So, for example, some of the refund fraud, we went back and we looked and we said, what's happened with our refund verification? And we weren't as consistent as we could have been with our refund verification. So we obviously had to shore that process up. We had to kind of look internally and say, where were we on this? We dropped the ball on this. So we've had to shore that up. A lot of times we kind of created, new process, new investigation that we're going to do on a weekly basis. I talked about the ticket switching at self-checkout. We had identified that they were using Kool-Aid barcodes, the fabric swath barcodes, the dollar corn dogs, the dollar chimichangas. They were ringing up, those instead of the larger priced items. So we just started using a secure report. Every week, Mike or Fabian would actually go in there, and they would type in the UPCs for these low-dollar items, and they would specifically target the self-checkout area, and they would start reviewing, just doing random observation, and go, okay, this is a case, or no, that guy really did just buy two
That's
packs
why
of
he
Kool-Aid.
here now. He on TV.
That's
Why he here? Yeah, there you go. I was wondering why he at. There we go right there. He can't be at two places
Yeah,
at one time.
yeah.
There you go. He on TV. Everyone's looking, where he at?
Activity going on, and it's easy to find if you look, right?
Where's Marlon? Marlon looking for
It always seems to use
He
them, we
definitely
never
looking
find
for him.
an associate. We find one associate who's doing this, and then as we expand that search, we always find they're working with somebody else, or somebody else that's not related to them at all is doing the exact same thing. They both think they found like the new cool way, and we never find just one.
I'm glad you brought that up. How do you ensure that you're not missing anything? How do you look completely into the investigation and not just take the one and roll on? How do you develop that?
Well, that goes back to your investigation skills. Number one, we can go back XYZ amount of days and secure. So when we're looking at a specific target, you don't just look at what they do this week. You go back as far as secure will let you go back. And typically when you identify the pattern, you don't even have to do the research. And once you look at the transaction, you go, okay, that's going to be one, that's
Show
going to be
when
one,
he
that's
get
going to
here.
be one.
Look,
You know
got
the pattern
you. Here we
fits.
go. Got
Then you
you.
marry that with the video, which of course you have a length of time that you're allowed to go back. So you have to do the investigation, completely and fully, the entire amount of time that you're able to. And then if need be, we can partner with our map on Amy Jankitis and say, hey, can you supplement this? This goes back further than we're allowed to go back. Can you add to this investigation? Can we go back any further?
Good. Okay. So as we are focusing on hardening target for our stores and making our stores less attractive to shoplifting and less attractive for losses. Talk to me about some of the things you've done in your store to harden the target, and what is your plan for the holiday season to try and combat a lot of that?
Well, to me, the number one strategy that we can use is clean, fast, friendly. I'm telling my associates every day at the morning huddles, you know, every single customer who comes in here, we need to smile through and ask them if they're finding anything. You know, it's the very best thing you can do for sales, and it's the very best thing you can do for shrink. You know, your customer, your shoplifter, they want to feel invisible. They don't want you to say, hi, how are you doing? Or you find everything you're looking for. So we really drive the friendly portion of it, the regular sales associate on the sales floor. And that's that process. You know, there's no silver bullet. It's just follow the company process and make sure you're checking off the boxes of everything we're supposed to check off. You know, how's our availability, right? Are we in stock? Is it clean? Are we going to notice it's missing? If it's, you know, just disheveled, not sewn. So, and then MPP, you know, if it's supposed to be in a keeper box, if it's supposed to be wrapped in a spider wrap, is it? You know, 'cause if not, we only have ourselves to blame. And then we do things like, you know, obviously the CCTV coverage, the CCTV signage, letting, you know we can see it, but does the customer know? So the CCTV signage, do we have it out there on the shelves? Are they aware of the fact that I'm being watched right now? Maybe I should think better of this.
Good.
Dummy cameras and mirrors as well.
Okay. And you talked about training your EPAs. Do they understand the hub and how to use that to drill into those categories?
They're on the hub every week looking at the scans done because it's essentially a roadmap to theft, right? And then we're also looking at the adjustments because just because we haven't caught it as theft doesn't mean it's not disappearing. So where is it going? And that really kind of leads their targeted surveillance and you know, walking the process as well, the tours.
Good. So, last question, and we'll bring this home. Are you staffed with AP customer hosts, and what's your plan on retention? And how does your staff change during the holiday season? You know, we sometimes, you know, we react a lot to things. But how do you get ahead of that during the holiday season? Give us some tips on that.
And you kind of say, are you staffed? It's a moment in time because it's constantly in flux. I'll be staffed on Tuesday and then understaffed on Wednesday. So number one, we're always looking for good AP hosts. You know, in the store, you know, if you have a high performing self-checkout host, that could be your perfect AP customer host. If you have a high performing sales associate, that could be your next AP customer host. We've noticed that there's a big issue where we'll put a requisition on the career dashboard for AP customer hosts, and we might get 6 or 7 candidates. Then we'll put the same requisition out there as a people greeter, and we're going to get 55 to 60 candidates. People don't recognize the AP customer host for what it is. They see that person at the front door and they go, oh, it's a greeter. So a lot of times we're trying to, you know, go into the people greeter, identify the high caliber candidate, and we pick up the phone and call them and say, would you be interested in this position? It's essentially what you just applied for, but it's under this title. And then have them drop the application into that correct requisition so we can get that person on board. But it's, you know, you always have to have something posted on the requisition because it's just such a high turnover position from both the promotion and just from, you know, unfortunately it's a transient position because it's probably not the most fun position in the store, but it's an extremely important one for what we do.
Good, good. Well, Chris, I want to thank you from all of us here and throughout the company for what you're doing in your store. We've mentioned Fabian a few times, so thank you, Fabian, if you're out there watching.
And cheesesteak, Mike DeSallo.
Yeah, Mike DeSallo. Thank you for what you're doing. Reduce shrink, apprehensions, investigations up. So congratulations, and we look forward to you having a good rest of the year. So thank you. Brendan, I'll turn it back to you.
All right, great. Thank you, Anthony and Chris.